have been a number of developments in the last 2 or 3 years which have raised the profile of looking at sustainable development in a very broad and holistic way. Certainly for us at Bradford, we've had a lot of challenges in terms of developing the ecoversity and developing the sustainable development agenda. And I think that will be reflected in institutions across the country. We're all taking different journeys, we want to get to different points, but I think all of us are very keen to engage with the debate about sustainable development.
To act, to deliver research, to deliver teaching, to engage with their communities and in their own behaviour on their own estates to demonstrate environmentally sustainable behaviour.
I think it's a very exciting time for universities with all the challenges that we've got, but sustainability and sustainable development is a key challenge that I think all universities will be working towards. And I think what we want is the global higher education community looking at what we're doing in the UK and building on the beacons of good practice, be that in research, in knowledge transfer, in curriculum change, in student experience. We need to be leading the world in terms of what we're doing.
The sort of DNA of London College of Fashion is that it's very closely integrated with industry, and a lot of the curriculum, a lot of the projects that we do is a collaboration between industry and academia. So the logical thing was to talk to industry about what they felt was going on in sustainable terms in fashion. Something that's very important for us is our collaborative work. It's about working across other departments, other universities, because it's really only working collaboratively that we can forge innovation and new ways of defining fashion more sustainably. Green collar graduates is a term that we're using really because we've understood that every aspect of all the courses have to embrace sustainability, and they're all going to be embracing it in slightly different ways. However, there are certain aspects of a new way of thinking that do run throughout all of those courses.
I certainly think that being a green collar graduate has enhanced my career because I genuinely care about issues of sustainability, but it is also a massive buzzword at the moment, and just as we saw the organic food movement just blossom and flourish, it's like the same thing is happening now with eco-conscious fashion.
Green Week, is green the new black, was an opportunity really for us to engage certain members of staff, certain students, and particularly strong industry supporters in bringing together all of the things that we've been talking about and really showcasing to the public, this is our agenda and this is how we're going to do it. We're going to do it through debate, we're going to do it through curriculum, we're going to be doing it through collaborative work, and we're going to be doing it through engaging the customer and engaging industry. We took students from a number of different courses, students and graduates, to work with Oxfam to relaunch the identity of the Oxfam brand as an alternative to the high street, as something creative, innovative, and also absolutely sustainable.
They asked us to really create our own products and to put our identities into it, which is a really great opportunity. The impact on my career has been excellent.
For a graduate or for a student to have their first collection showcased, confirming their credentials as sustainable designers in a store like that is a fantastic opportunity. I know from working as a course director that there's a huge workload, but the challenge is to reach those people in a way that actually supports them without them feeling as if it's a burden, and to now enable them to be inspired by the agenda.
The most powerful thing I think we have at Kingston University around this whole sustainability agenda is the enthusiasm and passion of our staff and students. They care about this enormously, and our role as senior managers is to help shape that and move it in a positive direction. The integration of sustainability within our strategic plan is a key priority for us at the moment. It'll be threaded through in learning and teaching, and in what we'll do with our buildings, and in what we'll do in terms of the student experience. But now it needs to be something that is part of what Kingston is going to do for the next 5 years. One of the big challenges we have here is that our estate is being upgraded but needs to be desperately. And we've put a whole series of challenges to our architects to address sustainability within those buildings. We do want them to be flagship around sustainability. So that's one of the key milestones. Seascape is one of the 74 settles, or kettles some people call them. We were very fortunate to be one of the awards, and it was based on the work that we've been doing in terms of professional education and in terms of sustainability, and it's professional education within the built environment. Over a third of all our curriculum has sustainability issues reflected within it, which gives the students an understanding of some of the issues they're going to have to be dealing with in their future lives. We're about trying to do things, not just talk about them.
We are engaging with our local community in the big energy challenge. We're trying, with our key partners across the region, to ensure that we reduce energy consumption by 10% in the next 3 years. It's a complex issue for people to know what to do, and part of what universities should be doing is telling them how to develop their ideas and to change their behaviour. The first of these changes is to ensure that our students change their behaviour in the use of electricity on campus, in the use of water on campus. And we've found that we can, simply by giving people feedback on the effects of their behaviour, actually change that behaviour in the right direction.
We have been working very specifically towards the Building Research Establishment's BREEAM Excellent rating. An example there would be within the new University Sports Training Village, we have a combined heat and power plant which generates electricity for the sports village and also enables us to use waste heat, for example, for heating the swimming pool. The 2001 master plan led us to introduce a first for the university, a green transport plan, a legally binding document as far as the local planning authority are concerned that commits the university to a number of improvements.
The research of a university like this is influential in many ways. But I think in relation to the sustainability agenda, many universities were onto this question way before it became a politically correct thing to be focused upon. Key researchers were already developing a stream of research that would enlighten others later.
I'm involved in quite a few large consortia of academics which are looking at particular issues concerned with how we get from where we are at the moment, which is an energy system based on fossil fuels and therefore giving out carbon emissions and contributing to global warming, and how we get to a situation in around about 2050 when we significantly reduce carbon emissions.
The research centre which I direct here is interested in a wide range of research questions, all of which, one way or another, relate to the interaction between education, learning and sustainable development.
A sustainable approach is a way of life. I think most of us are used to it in our home environment. We talk increasingly about what we need to do to try and cut down our own personal carbon impact. So it's moving from pockets of best practice to an absolute commitment to sustainability at the core of all of our activities.
I think what we probably will see is a greater engagement in areas of curriculum, and in particular the ways in which the student experience at different universities at least encourages those students to engage with what is, probably the single most important global issue, and I think that's to be welcomed.
Getting people working together on initiatives works really well and brings people together on things that deliver a local benefit there, rather than working in traditional silos.
You can get some very significant wins quite quickly by focusing on changing people's behaviour.
Work collaboratively. There's no way you can do something alone, and look at completely different industries, look at completely different disciplines and see how the synergy can create something that those two different industries could not have created in isolation.
It's true, we haven't got much of the carbon footprint, but we've got 100% of the students. And therefore we're in a unique position to help those students understand what the issues are.
The challenge for the sector now is to produce graduates who are fluent in sustainability, sustainable development, in the same way as 20 years ago we were having to produce graduates who are literate in IT skills?
I think looking ahead, probably the key challenge is leadership, and I think it's really important that universities engage with their communities, with their business associates, with their stakeholders in leading the agenda around sustainability.